Tough, hard-fought game, 60 minutes against a really good opponent. Give Tennessee a lot of credit. We just ended up making one more play than they did at the end there, and credit to our players and our coaches. Tough win on the road. So we'll enjoy this one on the way back and get ready for next week.
When did you know you were going to go for two? Was that
when we got the ball.
Why?
Go for the win. We're going to be aggressive. That's what we want to do. That's the mindset I want the players to have. If it didn't work, I could live with it. I thought that was the right decision. You're an inch away or whatever it was. I trust Saquon. I grabbed a couple of the defensive players that have busted their tails out there, along with some of the offensive guys that weren't out there. And I said, hey, we got the ball wherever it was. They said, we score, I'm going for two. You guys go with that? And they said, F yeah.
Brian, was that decision made easier by the fact that the way Saquon was playing, did you feel like I have the best player in the game, so let's put the ball in his hands?
I think, again, that's probably part of it, but it's also a testament to the players that are on the field, all of them. And Mike and the offensive staff they knew the play they were going to call. I asked them when there was a timeout in there. I said, we're going for two, what do you like? And we had the play that we were going to call. And again, something we've practiced since, training camp. That hasn't always worked, but the guys knew what to do, and it was a good play design by Mike and good execution up front. And, I know Saquon played, a few snaps in the preseason, but how many yards did he have today?
196.
Yeah, he's had a good, I told you all year, he's had a good spring, brings a good summer, and, when you have a guy that you have a lot of trust in, you put it in their hands. It's a player's game. So they're down there at the 2-yard line. So go ahead and tie and try to play it again. Trust your players and let them go.
Brian, looked like you had a fiery conversation with Daniel after the interception. What did you say to him, and how do you like the way he bounced back there?
I wasn't talking to Daniel. No, I was talking on the headset to some of the coaches, but I just said, what'd you see? And he thought he could potentially back shoulder it, and I said, that's not what I saw, but you got the ball in your hand, so you're going to get the ball back. At some point, our defense is going to get it to you. Let's drive down and get it again.
Brian, the mood in here at halftime, you guys are down 13-0. Things
fine. Yeah, it's the NFL. Take a look at all the games. There's been some slow starts early in the seasons. You study that. And you got to talk about resiliency. You got to talk about overcoming things. You got to talk about sticking together. All that stuff happens in training camp. It happens in spring. It happens. You just don't turn it on and off. That's not how you lead or build a team. Which is, we got a long way to go. I've said this since the beginning. It was good to get a win. The guys kept fighting. They kept believing. That's why you play 2 halves or 60 minutes, and you can't get too down on yourself, and you can't get too up. There's going to be difficulties throughout a game, and you have to have a strong mind. You can't be an overanalyzer. You can't second guess every call that a coach made or a decision that a player made. You have a plan, you stick to it, you lead in tough times, and you hope it turns out the right way. It's the same thing if things were going really well, Art, is you don't get too high and think you got it. This league will humble you really quick. Trust me, I've been humbled a bunch. Again, all the credit goes to our players and the coaches for fighting and competing for 60 minutes, and that's the first one. It's important. It's important to get a win. But I really appreciate those guys for the work they've put in since we've got here. We're trying to build something. We're a long way away, but it was nice to get the first W.
Brian, why was Kadarius limited to probably about a half dozen snaps, I guess?
I don't know exactly how many snaps it was, Tom, but we had personnel pack 7. There you go. You're a stat man. We had personnel groups for all our receivers. We'll do that for every game. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. It just depends on what we're calling and what Mike's calling and what we see. And he's in plenty of them. Some of them, obviously, we didn't get to some of them. But I thought the plays that he was in on, he did his job. Made a good decision on the one play down there at the end of the drive there, I think it was, to take care of the football and get it, 4, 5, 6 yards, whatever it was.
Does his physical situation?
No, he's good. He's good.
Brian, what were your thoughts as they're coming down the field on that last drive? And then they hit the pass on the left side, and it looks like that's going to be in good position for a field goal there.
Yeah, that's football. I thought it was tight coverage. Darnay was tight on him. And Tannehill made a good throw, and they caught it. And they centered the ball, and then they clocked it with 4. We iced them. Whether it helped or not, I really don't know. But, he just was off a little bit, to the left.
How were you feeling then when he's lining up for that kick,
How was I feeling? I was hoping somebody would miss it. Yeah.
That's
It's funny that it's a special moment because it's my first win. But last year, coming here for the Buffalo game, I lost my grandfather on the airplane as I was landing. So that was weighing heavy on me after the game. Yeah.
Brian,
You're saying it was weighing heavy on you after this game?
Yeah. When he missed it, I thought about them. It was, I don't come from much, and those 2 people helped me get to where I am. So.
A lot of tears in this
how much-
locker room last time you were here, I guess.
Yeah. It was a tough one, but different story this one. All good? Yeah. Were you going to ask something, Dan? You had your hand raised a while ago.
Change the subject, but with Tony, when you see how dynamic he is when he has that
Yeah.
one jet sweep, do you have to get him involved in more
We'll
personally?
see. Whatever we think we got to do for that week. We got a bunch of receivers active. We'll figure out ways to put them in a game, and maybe it's less, maybe it's more. Each week's different. Who's inactive might be different. I think it depends on everything leading up to it, and that's why we make those decisions.
What was your thought process with the left guard position there? Why, how did you decide, the rotation and
Bobby did a
behind
great
it?
job. We knew we were going a couple series and flipping them in and out, and Bobby did a great job with that. Communicate with those guys. Those guys were, I couldn't give you a play-by-play of all of them, except on one of them I knew we got us. The first half field position was killing us, right? They got a big punt return, and we fumbled the ball on a little scramble. So I thought we were efficient. We made the one decision down there, threw an interception, but I thought Daniel played a heck of a game, took care of the ball for the most part. But more importantly, was accurate, made good decisions, led the team down to score points when we needed to. And, I'm glad 26 is on our team.
The touchdown to Shep, was that a broken play, or was that where you guys were going with that?
No, there was 4 guys out in the pattern, 5th if, the back end have to protect. And, we had got behind them a couple times in the game, and one time it was Sill. I think both times it was Sill. It was a little tough on the one towards the end of the half there. We ran a little out and go. It was cloudy, the safety roll over the top. The other one, I think the guy just slipped, or the safety was way over there. But, every shot's, we wanted to be efficient. They put a heavy zone team, take what they give us, and, if it's, I don't know, what was it, 7 to 9 for 80 yards or not even 80 yards, whatever it was, just keep on doing the right thing, and, hopefully you get a couple shots in there.
Any idea how severe Wandale's thing is?
No.
What happened to him?
He got hurt. That's all I'm saying.
Do you know when? Was it on? Was it just him running, or was it on a? Because he just.
I don't know. I think he landed weird or something. I haven't even got to him. I just asked him at halftime real quick, "You doing okay?" He said, "Yeah." I just landed funny.
I asked because on the last play that he was on the field, he just ran down. He wasn't really part of the play. He just ran. He didn't limp or anything. He just.
Yeah.
And then he was out.
I don't know yet, but whatever it is, we'll rehab and he'll be out as soon as he can.
Brian, by not going more.
You guys are going to miss all the players in the locker room.
By not going for the extra point kick at the end, you put yourself potentially
It's okay.
in line to be criticized. Do you feel like as a head coach you have to coach without the fear of consequences?
Absolutely.
Is that part of the job?
Absolutely. That's what you sign up for when you're a leader. Being a leader is tough. It's not easy. There's going to be plenty of times that I fail, and I understand that. But I try to prepare the best I can, along with the other coaches on the staff, and that's what I want out of the players too. You got to be able to take the good with the bad. And there'll be plenty bad. I understand that, but just have a lot of confidence in our players.
One more.
Did you get the game ball?
I did. It was nice. I think Shep brought us up. He gave both Joe and I a game ball. Saquon, sorry. Saquon brought us up and gave both of us a game ball, which I appreciate, but I don't play the game. It's those guys that earn it and get hit and fight through it for 60 minutes. But we got a long way to go. It's good to get one win, but we got a long way to go. There's a lot of things to correct. I know that.
Saquon, when your head coach calls you guys over and says, if we score, we're going for 2, your thought is what?
Yeah, when we scored, I was on the field, and I saw him put up the 2 sign. We kind of made eye contact, and he gave me that look, and I knew what the play was going to be. And he gave me that look, and I kind of looked back at him and, said F yeah, and then, we called it up and we were able to execute the play and get in. But that he's a man of his word. He told us he's going to be aggressive. He told us he's going to lean on the players to make plays, and in that situation, he did exactly that. And when you have a coach like that, definitely will make you go out there and fight for him and execute in those situations.
Said you gave him a game ball after the game. Kind of what went into the decision to do that, and how much pride did you feel in getting?
It's his first. It's his first as many. Not only Days, but Shane too. It's exciting. It's a new era. There's a lot of things we can do better. Obviously, you can look at that through wins and losses. But at the end of the day, we're able to come out here with a win. That's the most important thing. So we're excited. We appreciate him, and that's why he deserved a game ball.
When you were very vocal about the season being different for you personally, how does it feel to have this kind of performance in the season opener?
Just one game, to be honest. That's how I look at it. Obviously, at the end of the day, I'm excited to get the win. But personally, just got to keep coming in. Something that just keeps sticking with me, what Coach Dave says, just enjoy the process. And that's something that I've been battling in the last 2 years with rehabbing and injuries. And that's been my mindset. So, no matter what, win, loss, tie, I was going to come here with the same mindset and just keep enjoying the process and coming to work every single day. Because we had a great week of practice. And no matter what the result was going to be, we can't let that alter what happens this week. So just got to keep grinding and keep leaning on each other.
Besides the win, what part of the process did you enjoy about today?
Just how we responded. Obviously the win helps that, but being down 13-0 against a great team, Tennessee's been very successful in this league for a very long time. They have a whole bunch of great players over there. And no one came in and hit the panic button. We came in here, we said we got 30 minutes. It's going to be a dogfight. And, defense came out, got 3 and out right away. O-line did an amazing job on blocking, got me one-on-one with a corner. Was able to pop a long one and then finish off with a touchdown. And that kind of created the momentum. And it's something special when you're feeding off each other. Special team made plays, defense made plays, we've made plays. All three phases made plays. And that's important.
When you broke that first big one, did you get a feeling like you were starting to turn the game?
Yeah. I just kind of just started getting to the zone, started locking in. I kind of love being in that place. I try to find a way to get in that place a little bit more and a little quicker. But it's a lot easier to rip off those runs when you got Felice and those boys pulling and setting the edge and opening up the gap and getting me one-on-one with a corner. So, we had a heck of a game, but definitely want to give a shout out to my O-line. They played tremendous today.
You and Shep have been through a lot since you were here together.
Yeah.
You have that run. To see him, I can't remember what your vantage point was for his touchdown, but what were you thinking? How fired up
I was
were you?
running a flare, and I saw the ball up, and I saw 3, wide open. DJ gave him a great ball, and he scored. And I kind of sprinted down there and just wanted to give him a hug because it's been a rough couple of years, for a couple of us, and especially him battling, coming back from Achilles. And when we needed him most, he made a big play. And everyone, whether it was 2-yard runs, big blocks, touchdowns, everyone made key plays throughout this game, and it's going to take all of us to continue on.
When you've been in the position before, the team's been in the position before when you could have won a game late, but the field goal went through the uprights. Where were you on the balls?
Been in this position a lot.
Yeah.
I forgot, me and Leo were talking about it. We see a lot of these games, go the other way, and at the end of the day, a win's a win. We were able to miss it, and we were able to get the win, and like I said, just got to keep enjoying the process. Just keep coming in, keep trusting the process, keep working, keep leaning on each other, keep fighting every day to get better. And, when we look back on this, we're going to be very happy where we're at.
Well, you really were, lowering your shoulders, hitting the whole card. It looked different than last year. But how much do you attribute that to a mindset change that you have, or is it just you have more confidence in yourself and your leg at this point?
Mindset, more confidence. I'm, an arrogant mindset when you coming from rehab and everyone's telling you, that first year, it's tough, but the second year is even going to be better. And you just put in your mind, like, no, I'm not listening to all that. Like, especially when you see, a guy like Adrian Peterson come back and blow it up after his ACL year. So you just in your mindset, you're just like, bro, I don't care. Like, I want to be different. I'm going to be different. That's not going to affect me. But, hey, I'm human at the end of the day. I learned a lot from, the previous year. And keep trusting that process made me be able to go out there today and not even think about it. I knew we were gonna have a great game and gonna make some plays. It was just when the timing was right, and it wasn't really just a mindset change. It's going out there and just believing in myself, trusting myself, and letting my God-given ability show.
I realize you don't compete directly against other running backs, but when there's another great one in the same game, does that inspire you at all to try to outperform him, or does it impact your performance in any way?
I'm very competitive. At the end of the day, I guess probably a little bit, but the reality is, like I said earlier in the week, I'm not playing Derrick Henry, and I have nothing but respect for him. He's a heck of a player, one of the best players in the league. But it's more like, it's not like, just competing against him. Like, I'm not looking up trying to see where my numbers are, his numbers. It's more like you're peaking a little bit more. You're like, okay, because this guy at any moment could break a long one. So it's more of just like a respect thing, I guess you can say. And obviously, we were able to get the win, but nothing but luck to him, and wish him best of luck throughout the season.
How much credit did your defense deserve for this?
Our defense played lights out. They played lights out, especially in the beginning when we weren't worth a dang. We couldn't do anything. We weren't executing. We were penalties, negative plays, in the red the whole time. But that's the beauty of football. You got to lean on each other, and they had our back, and we told them in halftime, just keep rocking. We're gonna get this right over here, and I'm here to figure it out.
On the 2-point conversion, it looked like you fought through a face mask. Was that what happened?
I was locked in. I was in the zone. I did feel something like that. I don't think we got a penalty for it, but we were able to get in the end zone.
What was your initial reaction when Brian told you he was going for 2 points and not the extra point kick?
Well, he's been very clear throughout training camp and throughout the week, kind of preparing for this game, that he's going to be aggressive in those situations and give us the chance to execute. So I wasn't surprised. I don't think any of us were surprised by that at all.
Given how Saquon played, was that play call perfect for that situation?
I think so, yeah. He had a heck of a game and was big time for us and was big time there too. So, I think just giving him an opportunity to make a play.
You really spread the ball around to a lot of your receivers, and you're fairly accurate for the day. What was your mentality as you were seeing coverages and passing plays?
Well, I think it was just, trying to stay ahead of the chains and move the ball, take advantage of, some of their spots in their zone and try to keep it moving forward. So, I thought we did an okay job with that. There's some things we'll look to clean up, certainly in the past game, but guys did a good job getting where they're supposed to be and making plays.
What was it like for you just watching Saquon play at that high level again? Just your perspective on what he was able to do today.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun. You saw the explosiveness and it was fun to watch him. He's had a great camp, and seeing where he's come from. He's battled back from a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries, and to get out here and do what he did today was a lot of fun to watch as a teammate and as a friend.
On that note, seeing Sterling Shepard come back from an injury so quickly and make that huge play in the third quarter, what was that like?
Yeah, similar there. He's had to go through a lot to get back to where he is now, and to see him make a big-time play, get behind the defense, and score for us, and a critical point of the game was huge. And knowing where he's come from, that was fun to watch.
TV, it looked like Brian came to you after the interception when you were on the bench. What did he say to you at that point?
I was just talking through the decision there. Obviously, one I'd like to have back, and a costly mistake down there. So I think he was just communicating that, and got to take advantage of those opportunities when we have points, and we'll definitely look to clean that up.
What was it? How would you describe the feeling in that locker room? It's been a rough few years here, right? To win a game like this, what was that like? And does it compare to anything that you've had here since you were kind of starting quarterback?
Yeah, it was exciting. It was an exciting win for us to kind of come back there at the end of the game. It wasn't perfect. The first half wasn't great, especially from an offensive standpoint. So to kind of stick with it and fight down the stretch, and then come out on top was exciting for us. We've played a lot of close games these past few years, so it feels good to finish one, to come out on top, and be able to celebrate in the locker room.
Was he in interception a case of you just trying to do everything possible to get Saquon the ball in that situation because of the kind of game he was having, or how would you describe that?
It's just a poor decision. It was certainly a play, to take advantage of him and try to get him the ball. But I've got to make a better decision there and make sure we keep points.
You mentioned, a lot of tough games, a lot of close games over the past few seasons. Seeing a brand new coach in his first game decide to go for two in that situation, a lot of times there's talk of a team taking on the character of a coach. How do you feel going into the future in close games, seeing that, walked in here in the Nissan Stadium, you beat the reigning number one seed in a real close game on a gutsy call from your head coach?
Yeah, I think, it means a lot as players, to know that he has confidence in us to make that play at a critical point in the game, is a good feeling and gives us confidence as a unit. And he's been clear, like I said, he's been clear from the get-go that he's going to be aggressive in those situations and give us a chance to make a play. So that's what he did, and it gives us confidence as a group. But we understand the responsibility to execute in those situations and take advantage of the opportunity.
What's the key on the two-point conversion? I mean, it's a shovel. Is it not doing it too soon? Is it, what's the timing there that you need to really concentrate on?
Well, I think each one of them is different. It depends on the read key and how he's playing it, but you want to stay inside of the edge there and give Saquon a chance. So he did a great job making a play there. Yeah.
I mean, it didn't bust open. Sometimes guys walk in that situation. It was not 100% clean. He had to make a play, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not all going to be perfect. You understand that when you practice them, but luckily when you have Saquon Barkley, it works out.
What did you think? What were you thinking when he called that fourth down play? Sort of bootleg, feet around.
Yeah, that was a good call. Obviously, they're expecting a downhill run, and I thought it was a great call there. On 4th and 1, gave us a chance to convert and then ultimately go down and score.
Last one.
What's your thoughts when they're lining up for the field goal?
Yeah, obviously nervous and hoping he misses it. But defense did a great job holding up. They played great all day. Played big time for us and forced a long field goal. We got pressure on the kick, and fortunately for us, he missed it. But hats off to the defense. They played great all day.
Well, Julian, it came down to a missed field goal, but I know a win is a win is a win any way you can take it, right?
Exactly right. I've been on the wrong side of that a couple of times the past few years, and so it feels good just to have that on your side. And a win's a win, like you said. We're going into next week 1-0.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. This team has been snake-bitten so many times in recent years by similar circumstances. Yeah. So now the tide turns a little bit. It's got to be a real good statement game for you.
Yeah, of course. And obviously it's great to get a win, but extension of that is, regardless of the outcome, I'm really proud of how we fought in that game. Things weren't going our way all the time, but we battled. Our offense battled, defense battled, teams battled. It was just a great effort, and so that is something you build off of. And then you fix the mistakes. It's week 1, and we got to make a big jump now from week 1 to week 2.
What changed at halftime? The first half, the Titans really kind of controlled the play, but they weren't running away on the scoreboard, which gave you a chance to stay in it.
Yeah, I think, honestly, on defense, we were doing our thing. Obviously, we had a few short fields. And it was just a little wake-up call. We started slow. That was one of our goals. We wanted to start fast, and we didn't do that. And so what now? Are we going to fold? And everybody was animated. No one felt down at all. We knew the second half was going to be our half. And so we go out there, defense does their thing, gets a stop. Offense then has some huge plays, and so that's what it is. That's what the fight in this team is right now.
Okay, tell me about the feeling amongst the defensive players when you see the coaches going for the two-point conversion to win the game, or at least put you ahead with a minute to go.
Yeah, it's gutsy. Dave's asked some of the guys what we thought, and
he did.
And
were you one of them?
I was not one of them. I'm gonna be honest with you. But the guys who he did ask, we have confidence in each other. And at that moment in time, our offense was hot. We had momentum on offense, so why stop that? Why be hesitant? Why play on your heels? And so we pushed the pace and we went for it, and obviously it worked out for us. And so that's just playing aggressive.
So Andrew, you guys were able to block your way for Saquon Barkley, 164 yards on 18 carries, couple of big explosive runs. Has to make the line feel really good.
No, definitely. When we run the ball and we're explosive, it's definitely a good feeling. But there's so many more things that we can clean up We got a good stable of running back, so if we open up the lanes, they can be explosive.
What was the mentality in the huddle when you guys are going for the two-point conversion to take the lead with about a minute to go?
Got to have it. We're fighting whatever the play call is. We got to do what we got to do, to win. That's how we approach it. Coach Daboll told us he's going to be aggressive, and that's the way we're trying to play.
What does it say about Daniel Jones after he had thrown the end zone interception earlier to come from behind like he did and pull it out for you guys?
Resilient. He didn't flinch one bit. He was commanding the huddle, made plays when he had to. Great job for us.
What changed for you guys in the second half that offensively you were able to move the ball a lot better and keep people off of Daniel and out of the backfield?
It was just execution. In the second half, we started running the ball a little bit better. I think that slowed down their pass rush. We had a few explosive plays, and they had to read a little bit more instead of teeing off on 3rd and long. We tried to, stay in front of the chains.
Drive getting down there, and then you guys not only punch it in, but then go for two. What's the feeling in the group in that huddle, knowing that you guys are going for the two? You know what plays being called, and the confidence that they're showing in you that they believe that you guys can get it done.
Yeah, that's just a testament to the coaches, having the confidence in us that we can get the job done. I mean, we rep through that all the time in practice, and we executed it in the game. Like, I couldn't be more proud of this group.
You've said a lot of times in the summer when we talked to you about when you see Saquon run and the idea of when he's running hard.
Yeah.
When you saw some of the runs that he pulled off today, what's your reaction as you're seeing that?
I was like, man, that's a damn good back right there. I just want to do everything I can to just create them holes for him, create them running lanes for him, so that way he ain't got to do so much on his own, But I'm proud of Saquon. He's definitely a great back.
Evan, what was the mentality at halftime? Because in the first half, the game was certainly leaning the other way for the Titans.
Right. Well, the mentality was to keep chopping wood. I mean, we dug ourselves in a hole. We just had to keep chopping wood to dig ourselves back out. And that was a testament to just the grit and the toughness that this team showed.
People always say you need some explosive plays to be able to be a successful offense, and then you guys get some. How critical were they?
Those were very critical. I felt those were the plays that changed the tide in the game. So those were very critical plays for us.
So Chris Myarick catches the second career touchdown catch of his time here with the Giants. Doesn't come at a much bigger time, right? Second down from the 1 yard line. What was the play, and were you surprised they kind of left you alone there?
It was a play we've been working on pretty much all year since we got here in the off season, and it was similar to kind of similar to the one I caught last year. Going out and blocked the D end and shedded them off, and they let me get out free. So wasn't that surprised because we've done it before, and that's exactly how it's designed.
Now, that call comes in. What kind of pressure is running through your veins? Because they've gotten the ball down with some plays and Barkley, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Most people are probably thinking they'll just run it in. But now you're going to get the call. What are you feeling?
Well, yeah, that's why it's such a great call. They're expecting that run, and I'm going out to the defensive end, and then he's expecting a run too. So it's nice and easy to get open and shed him. As far as the pressure, it's something we practice all the time, so it's just got to treat it like practice.
What was Daniel Jones like on that final drive, given he had thrown an interception in the end zone earlier, but looked like he was calm and cool there?
Yeah, I thought he showed great confidence. He's a leader in that huddle, and you saw it. He drove us right down the field.
All right, tell me about the two-point conversion. Now you guys get that call, and what are you thinking? My goodness, coach is going for it.
Yeah, I mean, we want to play to win, so another call we've worked on all off-season. This week in practice, Saquon made a great play to find his way in the end zone, and he fought his way through. So
it's a win and a statement game, I think, for this team.
It's a great win. We're going to move on to Carolina. We'll watch the film tomorrow, see what we can get better at, and then we'll change our focus to Carolina.
Chris, thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.